I'm Dan Galushan. Welcome to another edition of Shooting Plink. Plinking, that's a lot of fun. You're always knocking things over and what have you. But Shooting Target7 has got some different targets. They got what they call KYLs. Probably make some of the best ones in the world. And they've got a new one called Climbing to Glory. And we've got it right here. We're going to put it together today. But I'm just going to put sections together and then you'll see the finished product. This is what it looks like. Here's the instructions with it. And once you get it together, it's going to look like this. You have paddles. And these paddles go all the way from 2 1/4 inches to a 1/2 inch. There's 8 different ones. So it's definitely a KYL, which KYL is know your limits. Well, anyway, there's some assembly to it, and so to start with, you better get some tools. There's not a lot of tools to it. It's a 7/16 and a 3/8 inch wrench, and a 5/32 inch Allen wrench. So that's all you gotta have for tools, and then all the things are in here for it. This right here is the bag of nuts and bolts, and I presume the springs. By the way, there's a spring, which I'll be showing you, because this is made for air guns and mainly rimfire, at least with the springs that come with this. We're going to try it with an air gun, see if it works. If it doesn't, you can remove the spring and just have it flapping like that. But Mark is coming out with another spring for your air gunners. So anyway, let's get a little bit more. This is the nuts and bolts. Right here, it's already marked. 8 paddles right there. Let's see. Right here, 16 paddle brackets, because there's brackets for them. These are the legs. And this is the tower. It's 25 inches, by the way. And that's once it's done, it'll be 25 inches tall, and we're going to have 8 of these paddles on here. So let me get some of this stuff ready, and then I'll show you how your first step is to assemble the paddles. Alright, I should have shown you, here's all the parts right here. They're all lined up, and they've got letters on them, like most of your instructions have got. So it shows you what to do, and the first step, I think I said, was to assemble the paddles, but it's actually the paddle swivels, and you'd use 8 of the 16 brackets to do that, because you have just one swivel for each paddle. So this is what you do. You use the F bolt into here and the E nut. So that's what we're going to do first. Now what I've done is I've taken my Otis gun cleaning mat, which really helps, and I have poured out all the nuts and bolts, and I've separated the 8 springs right over here. I could put those on the parts deal, but that'll work. And here's my 5/32 Allen wrench, and this is the F bolt. I think that's what they call it. Yeah. This is the F bolt that's going to go into that bracket. And like I said, we're going to take 8 of those out. Yeah, that's 8 of them. And now we're going to put the bolt up through here. Just like that. And get in that. This takes the 3/8. Go. Now, that is the completed bracket one of the 8 that you have to do. So I'm going to take care of the other 8, and then I'll be back with the next step. Alright, step 2 is putting the legs on. And you have to use the A bolts into here. You do have another one here. I'll show you which ones you're going to need. Gotta get the thing around here. Okay, you're going to need these long A bolts, which these right here with the little nut keeper on it in the back. And you're also going to need this one right here. This is the D bolt. It's the only one in there, so don't lose that. That's going, I'll have to show you where that's going to go. And you're going to need these nuts right here. These are the brass type finished nut, and it's a nylon washer. It's a 1/4 inch one. So now I'll show you how you put it on. You can do them in whatever order you want. I'm going to go ahead and put this on because I've already got this A bolt here and I've got the nut on here. And this one is adjustable. This is the front area. In fact, this is where that little D bolt goes that I told you about. It goes right here in this notch, just like that. And I'll show you what you do with that in a second here. Before I tighten that down though, I'll show you these. Now, what this does, this is the tree it's going to go on, and they go in just like that, those A bolts, just like that. Lay that down. Take the other A bolt, put it just like that. And move those brackets out of the way. There we go. Okay, now that's ready to go for the legs. So the legs, and these notches, by the way, they go upward because that is for, like, if you had some stakes and you want to stake this to the ground, you use those notches. Now you put this here, just like that, and this one goes here, like that, and then you put the nuts on. And I'll screw these down later. I'll tighten them down. Because basically what I'm doing right now is just showing you how this works. Now the front side of it is going to be over here, like this. That's where that leg goes that has got this adjustable area. And that's where you want to take that D bolt, and we'll put that in there. And you put that right in to, like, here. It's going to hold it. And then you stick it into this slot, which is right here, this slot. There you go, just like that. And then we put the other nut on the back. Then what I'll do is I'm going to tighten all this up, and I'll be back and show you the completed project on as far as assembling the legs on the tower. Okay, you can see the finished deal as far as the legs. I got them all tightened down. I adjusted it so that it's level, because our next step, step 3, is going to be installing the swivel bracket assemblies. Now, what you do with these is you leave these loose. In fact, I'm going to, in the description, I'm going to put a link where you can see where Mark is installing these and how he tells you to do this. This little screw up here, on this one, right here, that's for attaching the spring, which we get to later. But this is putting these in on each bracket so that you put your paddle in there. And you'll have one of these that has this, as you can see, just right there. And we'll put that one like up here. And then we'll put the other one down here, which is one of these. Get one out. There, it has no bolt in it. So that will be there. Well, what we're going to use, and I'll show you the nuts and bolts that we're going to use. We are using what they call a C, which is one of these acorns right here, this acorn. and we're going to be using a one of these bolts, which is a G bolt, and that goes right into this slot right here, just like that, so that it sets like that, and then the acorn goes on the other end after you insert this into here, just like that. Now, when we put the acorn on, you're going to put it on loose. Don't tighten it with a wrench, so that it's like this. It's floppy. Why do you want it floppy? Well, you're going to see, because once we put the actual paddle on, you're going to want enough play in there so that you can get it into there, and then you tighten them down. So anyway, I'm going to get all of these installed, because like I said, there's going to be one here, there's going to be one here, and that will be the bracket for the 2.25 inch paddle, and then it goes all the way up here to where we're going to have our 1/2 inch paddle. So let me get all of those into there and screw down, and then you'll see what we're going to do next. Alright, you can see that we got them all here, and some of these may need loosened a little bit more. I got this one fairly loose, so that hopefully I can show you how to do this. You got all the different paddles. This is the 2.25 inch, and this one's the 1/2 inch, so you want to kind of lay them out so that you know when you're going to go up with them and put them in. Now you want it so that it's up like this with this little thing right here. The reason being is that is what the spring is going to hook onto, and then it's going to hook onto this besides. So I'll show you how to put this on. You got to pick it up, maneuver it in there, and perhaps even loosen this one a little bit more, because they are a little bit tricky. I mean, you got to get them down in there, and there. Okay, there it is. It's in there. You can see I got it free. Now that can be tightened up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the rest of these, and then I'll come back with the next step. We're on the final step, and actually I've done it a little bit of a difficult way, because I went ahead and I installed all these and tightened them down. And basically what I should have done is installed each one of them. I installed this one first, and then, because now what we're going to do is with the spring, and the spring, it's best to put it over like this, and then you want to have it so it's just like that, and you want to hook it onto that little notch I told you about. Well, then after you get it on there, and it doesn't go on real easy, there it is. Now what you have to do is put it onto there, and it's easiest to put it over like that. We'll put this around so you can see. It's best to put it up like this, and the best way to do these are to install each assembly separately. In other words, don't put this one or any of the others on until you do this. But so I'm going to stretch those over and then put that on, and then afterwards you put on another nut right here. And that's where it's going to be a little bit difficult, because I got to get that nut up into there and then drop it down. But again, what you want to do is each one of these you want to do separately. But I wanted to show you what it looks like all together. In fact, if you're using an air gun, you may end up not even using those springs until Mark gets the new springs for air guns. But this is set up, and we're going to see what it'll do. I'm not sure we're going to do it in this video, but anyhow, that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick those springs on, and then I'll be back. Now if you do, I haven't finished them yet, but if you do it the way that I did, what you want to do is you take the spring, and I'll show you. I used my Leatherman tool here, and I lined up the thing. I put it onto here, just like that, and then I took this, got a hold of it, and put it over just like that. So it works, and the only problem is feeding the nut on there, because I did do that, and I just get it up there and put it there and just thread it on. That's what I did. But like I said, again, the easiest way is to have them do them separately. Alright, I finished it. I was still able to do it the way I did it. Like I said, I just took my Leatherman tool, pulled the spring over, put my 2 fingers like this, put the nut up there, got it started. One good thing is that Mark uses very, very good quality stuff at Shooting Target 7. And by having that, the nuts were easy to put on there that way. Because, like I said, it's made in America, all of this. It's not any of this cheaper stuff from overseas. This is made in America by a veteran-owned company. But this is the back side of it, and I've got the springs. I'm going to show you up close here. All right, see the nut? I tighten the nut down to just about where you can see the top of the spring, about halfway onto that nut, because you don't want to tighten it all the way down. Plus, you actually lose it. I mean, you can't. Your wrench won't go in there at that point. So I just about halfway like that, and it seems like it must be working right, because that's the way they work. And you want to make sure they're free moving, each one of them, and it looks like it's going to be. So I mean, that's it. And then I'll turn it around and show you the front side, the way it actually looks when you're shooting at it. Alright, I got this turned around. It's a good thing it's made out of AR steel, because you can see how close that 1/2 inch is, and definitely suggest you have an optic on your gun, scope without a doubt, because hitting these aren't too bad without a scope. But when you start up like this, you're going to hit this probably quite a few times before you hit that. And even with a scope, you might hit it, but it's going to be doggone close up here, I'll tell you. And you hit it, and it's not coming all the way around, but it's got to be hit hard enough. That's why I'm not too sure it's going to work with an air gun with these springs. We're going to try it. It may end up that it'll just hit it and, you know, go like that, and not really go over, but I guess you'll know if you hit it, because it may just do that. I don't know. We're going to find out, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do it at another time. We're going to be shooting this Climb the Glory target. It's definitely a KYL. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to be interesting to see how we do. But we put it together. Hopefully it'll help you out. Like I said, I'm putting the link down in the description where you can go to the website where they have got a instructional video on how to put this together for the springs and such. I did it a little bit more complicated, yeah, but I did it, and it was easy enough. So if you do it the same way, yeah, as long as you use like needle nose pliers, or like I use my Leatherman tool here, yeah, you can do it. Especially with the, like I said, the high quality products that Mark uses at Shooting Target 7, because everything is first quality there. Well, I shot at it, and I hit a couple of them. I shot one down here. I think maybe you can see that. I hit it right there. And I just, for the heck of it, I shot it right here, and as you can see, I hit it dead center on that little one right there. You can see where it splattered out even. But it didn't flip it. The springs are just a little bit too strong for the air guns, and I was using a Daisy 1977, and scope's right on evidently, because like I said, that top one, I hit that right on the center. So yeah, it looks like it needs lighter springs, or maybe no springs at all for air guns. But next time we'll try it with our rimfire. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.